Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This time to something entirely entirely different. What I like to do now in this video is to introduce another hobby of mine, another passion of mine, which are, as you may have guessed from the title, vinyls, especially with metal music. I've been a fan of metal music ever since I was 14 or 15, and it's a fun fact actually that my older daughter, which she's 15 right now, she's getting into she's following the same path really. She enjoys listening to one of my favorite bands like Tiamat and Paradise Lost, and especially the older releases from them. But what I wanted to do today is introduce some of my vinyls from my private collection, and this will be themed around Polish, especially black metal bands from the 90s. But I will try to showcase some of the newer releases from different bands, not necessarily black metal, but something that you may have not heard of before. If you have, I think it's worth talking about these guys anyway. Right. Okay. Let's kick things off with guys from my home city. And I remember when they released that in early 90s. I was a teenager back then, and they were already playing in some obscure places. Pandemonium with the Ancient Catatonia, right? Absolutely fantastic record for fans of early Samael, Rotting Christ, and bands like that. It's a slower version of black metal, early black metal in veins of, like I said, Samael Worship Hymn, for example. This is Polish interpretation of that. And they have a lot of original bits and pieces in this release. Tracks, especially tracks like, for example, Winter, The Majesty, Unholy Existence, especially Winter. This is a very climatic track full of keyboards and atmosphere. I highly recommend that. This was originally released in 1993, right? This is a repress from 2015. As you saw, on my version is on nice white vinyl, 2 LPs. Inside you have a sentimental journey from different zines and interviews with the guys back in the day. One of them, I think it's Peter, the vocalist, I think it is. He's wearing the Samael Worship Hymn t-shirt. Yeah. I think they were influenced by Samael Worship Hymn back in the day when they released this, when they recorded that. Absolutely fantastic album. A blast from the past. Pandemonium, the Ancient Catatonia. Okay. What else do we have that I would like to recommend? Another Polish classic. Absolutely fantastic band, Christ Agony. This is the Unholy Union. Again, 1993. I think we have, yeah, look at that, 1993. I haven't staged these, this was a good year for Polish black metal. Again, this is a different type of, it's not like a Norwegian or Scandinavian black metal. This is Polish interpretation of a good, solid, atmospheric, sometimes slower black metal, especially on Holy Union. And the opening track, In Ceremonial, is absolutely fantastic. You know what? When I was a kid, I was also playing games, computer games like Diablo, and this Tristram theme reminds me a lot of, or the other way around, of Inceremonical. Sorry, that one. And then fantastic intro that proceeds into a killer riff that takes you through the entire album. This was released by the Witching Hour. You can pop into their website if you want to track this as either CD or vinyl. I highly recommend the vinyl release. It's quite nice with the gatefold. I don't think we have any posters in it. Let's have a look. No, we don't. Mine is black. vinyl, if I recall correctly. It is. I think they released this in different formats. I'm not sure. I'm quite happy with that LP in my collection, and I really enjoy listening to this. Over the years, I think they're still active. I'm not sure about Pandemonium though, whether they're still active or not. I forgot to mention who released that. Sorry for that. Let's have a look. DarkSymphonies.com. I have no idea who these guys are. No idea. Anyways, Witching Hour is quite famous, you know, with a lot of interesting releases, based in Poland. So yeah. Anyways, I was just saying that over the years they've released a lot of albums. This is one of my favorite. The other one, for example, is Moonlight, I think it was. Absolutely fantastic releases. The latest from 2016 or 17 is called Legacy, which is also a killer. But if you enjoyed this type of music, then I highly recommend starting with the Unholy Union if you're into Christ Agony at all. So have a look at them, have a listen, support the band. They're still active, as I said. I'm really hoping for some new material. Yeah, Christ Agony, another killer band from Poland. All right, now to something you may have never heard of before, something really obscure. This one is called Profanum. Profanum with Flowers of Our Last Misanthropy. As you can see, proper black metal pictures of the band, with corpse paints, with inverted crosses and the rest of it. So Profanum here, released by the... Who's that released this? Again, this was written between 1993 and 95, as you can see. What I like about Profanum is not only the fact that they're quite obscure and lesser known, but their albums, especially this one, is something completely different. It's even difficult to describe because they combine traditional black metal, raw black metal, with a lot of keyboards, atmosphere. Some tracks are mostly keyboards with these shrieking vocals and drums and bass, with no guitars. I can't remember the other one that I have in my collection. I couldn't find it before I started recording, so I picked this one up. I think it's on white vinyl. Yeah. So it matches. Hang on. It matches the. Oh, it doesn't want to. It's stuck for some reason. There you go. Nice white vinyl with some hair on it. Haven't cleaned it for a while, so there you go. Profanum, Flowers of a Black Misanthropy. Blast. This is a dough. Nice logo. An absolutely killer album, full of atmosphere, and it takes you all the way back to the roots of black metal. If you've never heard of them, go and check them out, but check all the other albums that they release, because some of them are quite different from the other. So yeah, Profanum, Flowers of a Black Misanthropy. Next, we have something newer, something that I wanted to show you. If you haven't heard about them, this is Sakri Legend. Sakri Legium. No idea how you pronounce their name. This is the Anima Lucifera album, released in 2016. Pagan Records, another great distributor, and a good place to hunt for awesome music. PaganRecords.com. Pop in, have a look. They have brilliant prices. I think they ship worldwide, so you can just pop in there and have a look if you find something interesting. But what this is a newer type of black metal. This is more in veins of faster black metal, like Scandinavian, Norwegian second or third wave of black metal, full of interesting riffs, keyboards, nice vocals. The drummer is a killer. I'm not sure what his name is here. Oh, you won't find names because they have letters. S, N, C, and R. R is the drummer. There you go. Oh, there's the logo of the Pagan Records, the distributor of this of this record. Sakri Legend, Anima Lucifera. Highly recommend that. 2016 release. Nice, fast, furious, atmospheric, and quite catchy black metal at that. Very nice album. Next, we have something quite similar, but from absolute legend of Polish black metal, Arcona. This album is my favorite. They've released, I don't know, 10, 15 albums over the years. They started, I think, in late 80s even, or maybe early 90s. They started with some raw atmospheric black metal, and this one is quite similar to Sakri Legend. This one is fast, furious, brutal, something like Marduk, maybe, Sargeist, Vatain, bands like that, but they have their own style. They've been around for ages, and this album, Lunaris, is my absolute favorite release from Arcona. Debemur Morti, right? They released this album for Arcona. Let's have a look when it was released. Doesn't say. We have a leaflet or anything. It's just a black vinyl, so I will spare you the details with black vinyl. Do we have the date? No, we don't have a date here. That's quite strange. Quite strange at that. I think it was 2015 or 16, something like that. There you go. No, it doesn't say. Strange. Okay, Arcona Lunaris. Anyway, highly recommend that. Next, something, this is not black metal, but one of my absolute favorite bands of all time. And there is a little story, a sentimental journey for me with Betrayer. This is Polish Betrayer. I think there's a few other bands with the same name, but there's only one Betrayer with that logo and only one Betrayer that comes from Poland. This album is 2015. Mystic Productions, and again, Witching Hour Productions Records label that you can find them at. But Betrayer, why is Betrayer? Who are they, and what type of music they offer? The reason why I like this band it goes back all the way to early 90s, where they released their EP. I can't remember the name. I'm too old for names, but the cover is with a huge cross on a small hill, Necronomical Ex Mortis, something like that. And this was one of the very first original tapes that I bought. You have to bear that in mind, that in early 90s it was extremely difficult to buy original tapes. Many of them were pirated versions, so you know that were the times. But Betrayer, the Necronomical Ex Mortis, was the very first tape I bought that was original, that wasn't pirated, and I think I still have it somewhere in my garage. But anyways, that's Betrayer, and they are a Polish answer, Polish interpretation to early Morbid Angel, Suffocation, Deicide, American Tampa Bay, Florida, early 90s, late 80s, early 90s death metal. If you mix Morbid Angel from Blessed Are the Sick with Deicide from their 2 or even 3 first releases, then you get Betrayer, especially Infernum in Terra. I really like that album, and I keep spinning that, quite often on my, yeah, there you go. This is the band. All right, the insert, gatefold again. I think it's a nice brown vinyl release, isn't it? Yeah, it is. There you go, like that. Go and check them out if you enjoy a journey all the way back to the early days of American death metal. Betrayer, Infernum in Terra. All right, there you go. And now a culmination of my video, something that that I cherish, something that I really enjoy, and I'm even happier that, as I said in the beginning of this video, my daughter also enjoys a classic, an absolute classic. This is Cat executioner in English. This album in translation means the breath of the dying worlds, right? This is an absolute classic of Polish blackened thrash or even black metal. The vocalist unfortunately was a legend. He will be a legend, you know, because he died. He died of cancer, I think. It was cancer. He died this year, and it's sad to see people like that go, because he together with the other guys, but he Roman was his name, an absolute legend of a vocalist, of a person, of somebody who influenced Polish metal scene. They started in the early 80s. They were a legend. This was originally released, and this is a repress from this year, because, you know, original presses from the 80s, they go to astronomical sums. And they're very difficult to find. But does it say when it was released originally? Can't remember. 86, 87, something like that. Maybe somebody can correct me in the comments section below. But cut. If you mix early Metallica with Venom, Celtic Frost, add Polish lyrics, which are quite difficult to understand even in Polish, because it's full of analogies, comparisons, full of philosophy, occult meaning, and things like that. They released many albums over the years. In the last 5 or 6 years, there was a huge feud between the guys for the rights of the band, of the name. Some of the members, the original members, they decided to play something more modern, while Roman was still trying to go back to the roots. This album, Breath of the Dying Worlds, is an absolute killer for me. The best of whatever they released. I think they released one album in English, Metal in Hell it's called. I prefer the Polish version, because they also released a Polish version of that. There is also another fantastic album called Bastard, another killer album with fantastic riffs and many similarities to early days of thrash and black metal, first waves. So if you don't mind Polish lyrics, which you won't even probably, you know, notice, because Roman's vocals are quite characteristic shrieks and screams and in that nature, I highly recommend that, because it's quite different. It's something you may never heard before, but I think it's worth experiencing if you're into black metal, especially first waves. So Cut, Oddech Wymarłych Światów, Breath of the Dying Worlds. Highly recommended. I'm really happy that I managed to get it and to have it in my collection. I don't really care that it's 2022 repress. I don't care. It plays very well. Oh, and it's a nice release on a red vinyl. So I don't really care that much for first presses or original presses. I care for great music. So, and this is an absolute killer of an album. So there you go. How many was it? 7 or 8 or 9? Great albums, great vinyl albums with mostly black metal, a little bit of death metal, but they all come from Poland. So I thought it would be a great idea to kick things off with my own neighborhood, if you like, and promote some of the lesser known bands. So yeah, there we are. If you enjoyed that, please let me know. If you knew these bands, then please let me know in the comment section below what you think of them. If you came across some of the bands that you haven't heard and you enjoyed, or you didn't enjoy, then also please let me know. Let's have a chat in the comment section below. Maybe there is something else that you can recommend that I haven't shown here. There is a gazillion of fantastic Polish bands, especially from the early 90s. I will be showcasing them next time, maybe. I have some other Polish bands on vinyl that I haven't shown today, maybe next episode, or we'll see about that. But yeah, there we are. Thanks for watching. I hope you, sorry for the glare, it's a nice glossy cover. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some bands that you haven't heard about, and that you will check them out. And if you enjoyed them, yeah, I'll be happy. So there you are. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.